What's happening? Of course, you know it's your boy B-High Radio. Shout in as always. I got my podcast partner off in this thing. OG Gangsta Wicked, a.k.a. Big Galaxy of Ghetto Mafia.
What's happening? B Jizzle, I got a new video out right now. Got it on your channel.
That's right.
It's called Side to Side, featuring Young Bleed, Kane, from Yin Yang Twins, Pete, and myself. I'll be performing Sunday at the patio out in Snellville on the east side. So, you know what I'm saying? The record is going in. Shout out to Universal, Virgin Music Group. B-High, man. Y'all go check it out. It's on B-High channel. If you don't see it, look for it. You know what I'm saying? And showing niggas some love. What's happening
with the movement. Now,
yes, sir.
I mean, in trending topics, you know, Kid Cudi hit the stand, you know, in the Diddy trial yesterday, and everybody was kind of waiting to see exactly what was going on with this whole situation. Now, from what we know, they're saying that Kid Cudi says that Diddy broke into his home, unwrapped his family's Christmas gifts, and shut his dog in the bathroom. So basically, not only is Diddy this big monster that's going around raising hell, he's also the Grinch.
The guy with the thing with the mask.
The Hamburglar. The Hamburglar. So he's, you know what? See, this story is taking too many different twists and turns with. You see what I'm saying? It's one thing, you got a situation with Cassie. Now this man taking folks' Christmas gifts. This man going into folks' houses. I don't know where they going with all of this, because still, I'm waiting on the RICO.
We waiting on the RICO. We waiting on the racketeering. We waiting on the sex trafficking of minors.
Yeah.
We still waiting on that. What we do have is Jerry Springer.
Oh.
That's what we do have now. Maury, remember them?
Yeah,
That little early 2000s, 90s. We have that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I wish Jerry Springer was still alive and doing his thing, because this would fit perfect into that.
Yeah.
Can you imagine having Puffy sitting there, and then it'd be like, well, we got somebody for you that wants to say something to you, and then Cassie come out.
Exactly.
You broke it. And then Kid Cudi come out. You broke in my house, man.
You know,
and they go to fighting. But man, seriously, how I feel about this, you know, with Kid Cudi in particular. First of all, you say a man, from what I'm hearing, that he talked to Puff while Puff was in his home. I don't think he actually physically saw him. Did he see him?
I don't know if he saw him. I think he called him. He was on the phone with him, and then
allegedly,
you know, he's supposed to meet him.
First of all, you know, I want to say, what kind of dog was that? You know what I'm saying? That's who need to be sent to the pound. Because you're supposed to be biting ass.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You know that thing.
But then I saw another news that would say that dog was stressed out after that. So we don't know what the hell. You see what I'm saying? He was like, his dog was stressed the fuck out.
He probably didn't put him in the bathroom with a treat.
See that?
You got to give a dog a treat or something, man. But look, B-High. Still, to be serious, you know, about the entire thing, I do think it's kind of flawed that I definitely would not have went on the stand and said that. There are certain things, you know, now you and I don't want to sound like a hypocrite, because you and I, we do say that, you know, we have to not handle everything with violence.
That's right.
We do say that. We preach that. And there are going to be people saying, well, y'all be saying don't handle with violence. And, you know, so he going through the court system.
Yeah.
But there are some things that do need to be handled, you know, an eye for an eye.
Yeah.
There's some time that I'm MLK.
Yeah.
And there's some time that, you know what I'm saying, that I'm Malcolm X.
Yeah.
One person that was great at that and used to tell me, and I had to see it on YouTube, was MC Hammer. When you would say something about Hammer, they say Hammer would pull up. He don't put up on Cube.
Yeah.
You know, he don't put up on Red Man.
Save Prince's life.
Correct. And say, you know, he pull up 30 deep. Now what you were saying now?
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? On his terms.
Come on.
Once he got you.
Prepared to typewrite all on your back.
Absolutely. If he didn't need to catch you, if you were deep at the video shoot, then he was cool.
Yeah.
He's okay, I'll catch you when you go to Gladys Chicken and Waffles.
Yeah.
We'll catch you there.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But we gonna deal with it.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? So I felt like, you know, that's kind of how I would have played that situation. I definitely wouldn't have went up on the stand and say, hey, you know, he locked my dog in there, he blew up my car. When I looked at the pictures of the car, it didn't look blown up. It looked more like somebody set it on fire.
Yeah.
I thought it was more of a female, you know, type of deal with it when I looked at it. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Saying that, you know, Puff call you from in the house, knowing that how, you know, he's a public figure and that could be recorded and then, you know, taken to the law, that raises red flags for me. I mean, is he that brazen?
Yeah.
That he would, you know, get on the phone, hey, this is Puff. You know me, I'm in your house. Yeah, it's about 11. I'm in the crib right now. Oh, matter of fact, I blew your car up too. And I'm finna put your pooch in the bathroom without a snack. You know, record that and take that to the police mind. Right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's hard for me to believe.
Yeah.
I don't know though. When you're dealing with drugs, you know what I'm saying? They can be out of his mind.
Yeah.
But you know, I think it was a sucker move right now to while Puff is, you know, fighting for his life.
But they subpoenaed him. The feds subpoenaed him, so he had to come out.
Yeah, but you still didn't have to say that. You could have just came out and they asked you some questions that was pertaining to the case of what's going on with racketeering. But, you know, if I did get subpoenaed and I had to go, then, you know, that's what I'm going to be. Okay, so what do y'all want to ask me about the charges that y'all have him up on? And I'll tell you what I don't know about that. I wasn't going to go out my way to, if you subpoena me for racketeering, then say, oh, man, I meant to tell you a story. You know what I'm saying? Man, you know, I was at the club in 1998, and he came in there, and they jumped on me. We had a bar fight. Fuck, they got to do with anything. It's how I felt about it. So I just feel like it was, you know, it's not really relevant to the case. Maybe it is.
Well,
you
he
tell me.
He also said that, you know, this was one of the things that kind of caught me. He said that, you know, Cassie had him thinking that she had broken up with Diddy.
Correct.
So
well, we already know that.
Yeah, so that kind of caught Kid Cudi off guard because he was thinking, hey, chick, I thought you said you was done with him.
Right, and then you find out it wasn't when your car blew up.
Yeah.
And see, and that goes back to what you and I be talking about all the time when it comes to dealing with these females out here. That and me saying that, you know, Cassie is not, you know what I'm saying, innocent in all this.
Yeah.
He's basically telling you she was playing both sides.
Yeah.
And women do that all the time, and somebody winds up getting hurt.
Yeah.
And a lot of women after you know, they play both sides because they emotionally hurt, and then they laying up with this nigga telling you business. See all that come into play.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And that get guys. They get guys at war.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and then when someone get hurt, they bow out, you know, slink out the back door, and then act that if they do get called out on it, act that if well, they were emotionally, you know, abused or physically abused, so they have the right to play both sides like that against each other. And women get men killed. I have partners that have died over women. I have partners that when I was growing up, one would be going in the front, one would be going out the back, and then they hated each other because the female was sitting there telling each one exactly what they wanted to hear. You know, play right to a man's ego. They know exactly what you do not want to hear. That nigga said everybody on y'all street was some hoe ass niggas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, this is just garbage. You know what I'm saying? I still, like I say, I don't think that he should have, you know, really went up there and talked about anything other than, especially you subpoena me. So if you subpoena me, that means I didn't want to go. You had to subpoena me. I didn't voluntarily go, or it would have been a subpoena.
Yeah.
You subpoenaed me because I was keeping my nose out the entire thing. They already got you. You're already fighting for your life. Me adding on some street beef that me and you had back in the day, I mean, that has nothing to do with the racketeering and stuff. What does that have to do with anything? Just like some of the women that are coming up now, he put his dick in my mouth. You know what I'm saying? You know, what are we talking about here? Yeah, racketeering, you know, and sex trafficking. Yeah. If you were not sex trafficked or you were in a racketeering ring I don't want to hear about some pillow fights or some street fights that you and the man had. That's what people do. Everybody start piling on. Oh, he cussed me out at a Valentine's Day party, called me a fuck nigga. You know what I'm saying? My tires were flat.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Well, now it's going to be interesting to see how all of this plays out because if Diddy winds up beating this case and coming home.
You know, if I beat a case like this, that would be the last thing on my mind, getting retribution from you know, people that talked about me. I would take that as an opportunity to, you know what I'm saying, do a lot of blocking on my phone, do a lot of blocking on my social media, do a lot of blocking in life, you know, and dealing with the people that stayed down with me, you know what I'm saying, and understanding that that I'm still being watched and I still have, you know, I still am the enemy of the state. That's what happens a lot of times. That's what happened with R. Kelly. R. Kelly beat those cases down, I want to say in Miami at first. Miami or Chicago. And then he got out and then you start feeling invincible. Or you beat the allegation from the sex tape. You know what I'm saying? Then you feel invincible and you keep on with the same behavior. I mean, keeping on with the same behavior is a real definition of an idiot. Of a clown. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Not to say that Lil Durk he ain't convicted of nothing yet, but you know, they've been a trial on these types of things. His boy lost his life over this mess. King Von. Yeah. If that wasn't a time that you say, you know what? You know, I lost my partner. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Let me fall back. Not go and get on a wiretap and you know what I'm saying? See, these type of things, once you mystical. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know how the whole thing has played out, but I do know he went to prison for the exact same thing, and so I want to put myself I'm not going to get out of prison and then put myself back in the same position. If I went to prison for what Mystical did, I ain't being alone with no woman. I'm getting out and getting married. Yeah. I'm Beehive 2.0. You understand what I'm saying? Now I've been better than you. You know what I'm saying? So that's me. You feel what I'm saying? You gotta be in tune with the universe, bruh. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And when you do get another chance, same thing with Thugger right now. Yeah. You got off on this right here. You could have you sat in that prison. You can act tough and hard all you want to right now, and you know you got your chest out because you don't beat it. But I know how it is to be locked up. Yeah. And when you sitting there by yourself on that cold hard steel, you know you reflect. And you like, man, if I beat this man, I'm gonna change. We all say it. Yeah. And then we get out and then we do the same shit. Hopefully. You know, this will be if he does get out, that you know he'll tighten it up. Yeah. Because he's still gonna be the enemy of the state, and lawsuits don't go anywhere. Yeah. And they still gonna be at him because you know the system be mad when you beat it. Yeah. They want to bring you back. You know, so Puffy, if Puffy does beat him, better sit down somewhere because one thing is, Gary, one thing that I do know is that he's living immoral. He's been living immoral. I hear beating on women. Having, you know, freak offs when you have that type of power, allegedly extorting people and recording them without their knowledge. You have heard a lot of lies. You know what I'm saying? And stuff has been exposed that needed to be exposed. It all works for the universe. I see, you know, one of our big preachers, they stepped down. Yeah. And so some people do need to be exposed. They have been exposed, and it was all tied up in that. But at the same time, what about just, you know, the guy that went that, you know, he wasn't married. He wasn't doing no homosexuality or something. Maybe he was in there goddamn hitting a couple of lines of you know what I'm saying, of some white girl or something, you know, but he plays sports or something, you know, that'll get you kicked out of the league. Yeah. You know, brandishing a pistol, like your boy was for Memphis, you know, and they see that right there, and then you get kicked out the league because he was at a party, and had brandishing a gun. They got suspended a long time about that. I recall that. You understand what I'm saying? Because of some motherfucker sitting there recording. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So everybody wasn't homosexual. Everybody wasn't engaging in the freak off itself, but you might have been doing something else that was a little smaller, but you still didn't supposed to be doing that, and that Puff done recorded you. You know, done broke up your family. Your old lady like, well, damn, baby, you said you was out in Vegas gambling. You at a party. And I didn't catch you doing nothing, but everybody else was doing something, so you had to be. Then you got problems in your home. trust issues.
Yeah.
Because you lied about where you was in the first place. So if you lied about where you was, then you probably lied about what you did at the party. Ain't that how women think?
Oh yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't tell them.
Getting caught
You can't tell them. Well, babe. Okay, you caught me.
Yeah.
I did say I was in Vegas gambling with Wick.
Yeah.
You caught me. I wasn't there. I was at the party.
Yeah.
But I didn't do that. But they tell you I did not do that part. You lied.
Yeah. You caught him a lie.
Yeah. So. Man, Puff, man, it's just, Puff lame as hell. Cassie lame. Like I said from the beginning of this, they both was in cahoots. They both bisexual. They both, was drug addicts. And there were a lot of people around them that fell into that, but there was a lot of people around them too that just was on other shit, clout chasing, trying to get deals here, there, wasn't supposed to be there.
Come on,
and so it's ugly. And I think the Kid Cudi, getting back to him, what he's getting on the stand and talking about is irrelevant to racketeering or sex trafficking. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the people in the comments will tell me why it's relevant.
Yeah. Well, that's what we trying to figure out, man. We'll keep y'all updated on what the hell's going on out here in these streets.
Yes, sir.
Be High Radio Shout and Big Galaxy. We gone.